Hey traders, John Howell here. Welcome to today's educational coaching market update video for you. I have a really big market update for you. We're going to be covering the Italian market. The Italian market had almost a 3% drop in the market. We're going to be covering all the different markets. What's happening with the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq? Very big bull market. There's an amazing setup that's happening right now in the Dow Jones. Also, the Russell right now is also potentially setting up for an incredible trading opportunity as well too. I'm going to be talking to you about how to identify false breakouts. I'm going to walk you through probably 3 or 4 or 5 major big false breakout patterns. I'm also going to be talking to you about the overall big trend analysis of the markets and how to identify what's really going on in the big picture and how to really understand these markets a lot more. I'm going to talk to you about the gold market right now. It could be creating a false breakout pattern to the downside before we start to see a move up. I'm also going to talk to you about the gold mining stocks. Gold mining stocks and also the silver mining stocks right now are in a very big triangle pattern, especially the gold mining stocks. The gold mining stocks have been going sideways for almost 4 years right now. And once we do break out, we could be getting ready for a really big breakout. So gold and that there. Also, silver right now has been having a pullback, and we could be getting ready for another move right back up. I'm going to share with you the targets from there. I'm going to share with you also talk about what a lot of the times what happens is how to identify short-term false breakouts to create slingshot patterns. And this is you can see this happening, right? You see this happening, what actually happens in gold. Gold could be creating that right now, a bit of a short-term false breakdown before a slingshot pattern. Also, we're going to talk about Bitcoin as well too. Also, guys, I'm going to talk to you about at the start of this video is about what you need to be, what some really important things if you really want to become good at this thing called trading, right? This world called trading. Some really important things that I've learned over my last 20 years of trading. So there's a lot that we actually want to go through in this video, guys. A lot of education. This is actually like a full masterclass to teach you guys. So get ready, get your pens, get your paper, get ready, let's go. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, traders, let's get straight into today's update for you guys today. One thing I want to start off with, guys, is in today's update, before I get into the charts, firstly, did you guys see what happened with the Italy market? Check this out, right? Check this out. This is the Italy market here. Now, one thing that Italy, this is because one of my actual coaching clients who I am coaching every single day, one thing he's actually from the United Kingdom, and the big thing, a really big thing is like, and I was telling him that I'm like, he was like, man, did you see what actually happened from here? And he's like, lots of screenshots and lots of trading opportunities actually happened with the Italy market. You can see what Italy market actually had a really big drop from here. I'm not exactly sure what was the actual percent drop today. I was at 3% drop on the Italy market, and this is a really big interesting thing that I see happening with the markets now. When actually, and this is going to be really sort of intense, sort of deep update for you guys, but one thing that I've found over my last sort of 20 years of experience is that the market sort of, sometimes it'll give us a bit of a sign of things starting to become, top heavy, right? The market does give us some signs. And this is where like a lot of people out there that are trying to trade off fundamentals, right? Like it's so important that we look at the charts, okay? Now, the charts have given us some signs of okay, there may be some sort of a drop here soon in this particular market, right? Now, what may be those signs? Now, it doesn't matter what market you're looking at. There's a few different signs that we actually look at. Now, firstly, understanding the different signs of what actually happens within these markets, right? So it's important that when we go to these markets, we understand the concept of how these markets operate. And so therefore we can be alert of what may be coming. Now, how do they operate? They operate in swings and in motions, right? So, and they create these patterns, right? And so on the back of that, what I just said there, I see so many people who are struggling with trading, and even myself, traders, right? Even myself, whenever I go through a bit of a rough patch every year, now I go through rough patches every year, maybe a couple of times a year, and the only time that I go through those rough patches when my win-loss ratio is not really that good, and stuff like that, is generally when I'm actually deviating from my actual trading plan, right? Let's just be honest from here, right? The hardest thing about your trading right now is what? Really sticking to one sort of approach, right? And now because it really takes a focus, right? A real deep focus on one approach, right? If you use the stochastics or the RSI or the MACD or and the chart patterns and so on and so forth, like go deep into that thing, right? Because I find the only way for me to be able to become good at what I've done and what I'm doing right now in trading is I've become so laser focused in the concepts in the way that I trade the markets. Make sense, guys? So like for you, like the only way for you to actually really move forward in the markets, right, and to become so good at this thing called trading, is whatever the approach is for you, right, become so deep into that, right? Because it's when you become so deep into that, you're gonna have your losing trades, you're gonna have your winning trades, and after a period of time, you're gonna start to find the common characteristics that the losing trades have, and you'll slowly stop doing those, and you'll find the common characteristics of the winning trades, and you start to do more of that. Makes sense? And that's where, like, I'm a very, very, very big believer in taking screenshots. And for you guys, for me, I'm always taking screenshots of every trade I take. It makes sense? And then I go back over time, and success leaves clues, right? But if you're not going deep into something in one approach, right? So with your trading, if you're not going deep into that one approach, where the way that I trade the markets it's very, 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 very simple, but I believe it's the most powerful, because the way that I trade is based off how markets operate, right? It's what I'm teaching you here right now. It's the way that these markets operate. So the way that I trade, I can apply my analysis to any market out there, right? Makes sense? Because it's based off how markets really operate and how they work, and they go through different phases and so on and so forth, right? And so that's the reason why I love the way that I trade. And because really over the last 20 years, my first 10 plus years, I was doing all different types of trading systems, right? I was doing triangle patterns and this pattern and that pattern and this indicator and that indicator. And the more that I've just come back down to just understanding what is really trading, right? What trading is what? We have an approach. And within that approach, we're going to have a win-loss ratio. That means we're going to have some losing trades, right? And it's just up to me. And I've just found myself that the better I become at my approach, at my trading rules, at identifying these trades and understanding the identification of a really good trade, right? And then also understanding, there's a couple of things that I've realized, right? Because for me, I'm always trying to identify those trades that have really, really, really big opportunities, right? Really big opportunities that's likely to make a big move in the market here. And the one thing I have found is that if whatever your approach is, there's a few things. It's like, what does the actual setup look like on the chart, okay? And then what do we expect afterwards, right? So like, for example, for me, I know for me that if I'm going to be, the way that I personally trade is I like to trade the last half an hour of the US stock market, and I'm scanning the markets at that time, right? And I'm looking for opportunities. And when I'm actually doing that, I'm looking for opportunities because I know when I do get into a trade today, most of my really good trades are going to last 1 to 2 months. Makes sense, guys? So for me personally, the way that I personally trade, and most of my clients follow along with this here, is the way that I like to trade. Is I like to identify trades that I can get in today and actually hold for a couple of months, not get in and get out and get in and get out. Now, yes, there are a lot of times throughout the year where I'm going to get in and get out for a couple of days later. It might be a small profit or a small loss, or it's just the way it goes, right? We just never know. But the best ideal trade for me is what? It's just to relax and just identify these trades that have the potential of having a big move. And I know in the back of my mind, I'm probably going to be in this for 1 to 2 months, because that's the average length of my longer term trades, right? So I would rather take, maybe 1 or 2 dozen trades that have the potential of being really big movers instead of just trying to look for these small little profits, right? Because I've never found that. So I wanted to start off with today's update, guys, with just by understanding, like, with your trading, okay? Because I feel for a lot of you guys out there right now that are trying to trade these markets. And in that free trading course, guys, first link in the description, the first video you do get is actually a webinar replay of my actual trading system step by step. So if you want to learn the way that I trade, you get that. That's the very first video you get, and then you get a free course that walks you through the most powerful trading techniques on the planet. I truly believe that when it comes down to understanding these markets here. But as I said before, guys, like the big thing that I've really learned through my trading career is that when I become good at my approach, right? So we have this system. I have my trading approach, which I believe is the best out there because that's what I trade. And the more that I just stick at that, meaning I see I have my trading system, right? And then there's the setups that don't do well, and then the setups that do really well, right? And then after a period of time, you start to find out, and you start to go, well, here's the common characteristics around the losing trades. Here's the common characteristics around the successful trades, and then you start to get better and better at the identification of the successful trades, right? And the successful trades could not be the system. Sometimes the successful trades is just understanding how to operate when you get into the trade, right? So for example, like for me, I know successful trades comes down to a lot of patience in the trades, right? Because if I'm going to get into a trade that's going to last 1 to 2 months, maybe the first couple of days to a week, it doesn't do anything. And then it moves. What does that require? The successful trade of that requires me being patient with that, like in a trader right now. So I really want to bring this down for you guys to start off this week for you guys. I really feel for you, and I really understand where you're coming from. I've been trading the markets for 20 years, and the biggest mistake that I made was not going deep into something, not going deep, right? Just being broad. I was always doing all these different things, you know what I mean? It was a 5-minute trading system, it was this trading system, it's stochastics and the RSI, then the MACDs, and then this system, and it's like, I was always surface level, right? Surface level. If you really, really, really want to do real out of this and start to generate, even a 6-figure income from trading, it's going to require you what? It's going to require you to start to be, okay, I need to be laser focused in one approach. If it's my stuff and you like it, you can get access to that free trading course, or you can get access to my coaching program where I can coach you every single day. And because I'm actually just open up some spots to a 6-month intensive coaching program with me for 6 months every day. You're going to be with me for an hour and a half, right? So if you really, really, really want some help, guys, 6-month intensive coaching program, that's second link in the description there. You can actually see the strategies and testimonials and so on and so forth. And I've got 2 spots left for that 6-month intensive coaching program if you want that. But the thing is, guys, it's all about going deep, right? It's like going deep and understanding that, yes, I'm going to go deep for the next 12 months. I'm going to give myself a good 12 months of going deep into this one thing, this one approach, right? And if it's not my stuff that you resonate with, but maybe it's someone else's stuff, then go deep into that, right? Because I believe every single system out there works. I'm just not a very big indicator user. Now, I do believe indicators such as stochastics and RSI have their place, right? And if I could actually teach you a trading system around how to use those best indicators, but it all comes back down to the most important thing for me, which is trading with the overall market, right? So I wanted to start off with today's video about this, guys, because I see things like the Italy market, right? The Italy market, and I see things, and then I want to bring on the basis of, I really feel for a lot of you guys right now that, you come into the markets and you want to do really well, right? You want to trade the markets really well. And trust me, guys, like, I barely finished school, right? I was always labeled a dumbass and I was never going to do really well out of school and so on, so never going to do really well. And the thing that's kept me in trading through all the ups and downs, and the most hardest thing that I found about trading, guys, is like, I've always felt alone, because most people even I associate with, even on the outside world, it's like they just don't comprehend, right? It's like, us traders, right? People who trade the markets, it's actually a lonely thing. That's the reason why in my actual coaching program, I have a private Facebook group where we're actually coming together every single day. It's such an amazing thing. And it can be such a lonely place. That's the reason why, again, in my coaching program, that's secondly in the description there, if you're interested, I'm always communicating with my coaching clients. And that's the reason why every day all my coaching clients are coming together every single day from that. Anyway, so I really wanted to start off with this, guys, because I'm trying to share with you some things that I feel for you guys, and I felt the same way. But here's what I have found. If we can just go deep into something for the next 12 months, you're gonna start to really hit some stride and hit some really big momentum, because you're gonna find out what the losing trades are, the common characteristics around that, and what the successful trades are around one type of approach, and then you can start to do really well from that there. But going back on the markets here, guys, the actual charting the technical analysis side of things is the one thing that I have found is that the market always gives us some sort of sign of what's happening, right? And I've always found these markets to do some, certain sort of things. So the thing that I really want to share with you is that I've always found a few things here. So the first thing I want to share with you is how markets generally operate. All right? So I'm trying to share with you here is to stop you from getting into bad trades, right? To potential false breakouts. So if I'm looking at this Italy market here as an example, we can see we've actually had a down candle here today. Now, two things I really want to share with you here when it comes to this chart here. Firstly, how do markets actually operate? Right? Let's just go back to the foundations of how they actually really work, right? And so whenever they go, how they work is whenever they do go for a move up, there comes a period of time where if it's gone up, what is that? For you guys that have been around for a while, that's using energy, right? It's used a lot of energy to go up, right? So if you've used a lot of energy to go up, guess what ends up happening? You need what? You need now a bit of time to actually have maybe a bit of a drop against the trend or a bit of sideways phase, right? To rest, to go for another move. Now I'm looking at the weekly chart here on this thing here. And so what ends up happening here is this is when false breakouts can happen, right? You go for a very big move, you go for a little pullback through here, just a little bit of a drop, and then you get going again. Notice how there's actually, after this very big move, we've only had this little move and then we get going again. And what tends to happen with these patterns here is we end up failing. And what ends up happening is that we'll probably fail down to here. And then just say that it's probably going to be around about then it'll probably come back down to 50% level, maybe even 60%, the 61.8% level here. Okay. And then what would happen is then we'll start to continue back up from there. So if you see, like, this is what markets do, right? So as these markets make very big moves in the markets here, we can start to see, okay, in the back of my mind, and again, I teach you, this is the reason why my stuff is just so powerful, because just understanding these concepts, it's like, oh, you see it coming, right? So this drop that's happening right now, one on the Italy market, it's just to me, it's just an overall drop in a big bull market. So we're probably going to come down to 50% level. But as you can see, right, this thing has just continued up. We had just a little drop, and then we push to the upside, and now guess what? Now we're getting that drop through here. But why is the market dropping overall? And this is where, if you're looking at daily charts, always be looking at, this is the daily chart to the right, this is the weekly chart to the left. Always be looking at the weekly chart to the right, or always be looking at the weekly chart as well, to see what's the overall market been doing on this particular market here, right? Whatever. And this is the same for your individual stocks. Have we been going up for quite some time, or have we just been going sideways? If we did go up for quite some time, but now we've been going sideways for 2 to 3 months, then guess what? Now that's been refueling to go for another move, right? And so therefore you can see that that's what sort of, that's the reason why that this actually failed from here. And as you can see, and then, again, there's these patterns that form, right? So the big thing is here is that firstly you can see, by understanding this concept here of after the market does a lot of move to the upside, we now need what? We now need a bit of time to actually do something like this, right? Before we even go up. This actually is what this is. You just notice this, guys, time and time and time again, right? So like, and you just look at this from a big picture perspective. This is the Italy market here dropping. Now again, this is dropping here. Forget the moving averages. But what is this? Really, like, what is this? Like, if we had a look at this here, it's nothing other than what? It's nothing other than higher low, higher low, higher low. It's probably going to be a higher low before away we go again, right? So we can just see that's what's happening through there. So the big thing here, guys, is as you can see that whenever we do make big moves, one of the common mistakes is people trying to get in up here, and it's going to be a false breakout. Why is it going to be a false breakout? Because we've just been going up for quite some time. And understanding the concept of energy in the markets, when we go up for a while, the market's been using a lot of energy. Therefore, we need at least a couple of months of sideways movement before we see another big move to the upside from there, right? So that's obviously what I'm seeing through there. And this is actually what this is like. And you just notice this, guys, right? Like, if you take a really big step back for a minute here, right? So this is the Dow Jones. And look at any market. Right? This is the Dow Jones. This is the S&P 500. Okay. And on the basis of what I just said there, if you look at this, so this is the daily charts here. But if I start to go to, say, for example, this chart here, right? This is the weekly chart. What actually happened here? Look at this here. Now, you start to notice these types of patterns. This is the reason why, guys, the way that I teach and the way that I coach is the most powerful, because I teach you not only just trading setups that are really, really powerful, that are likely to make good moves, but also the analysis that I teach you is a form of understanding these markets, right? So you can look at this here, right? Look at this here. So this market did what? This market went up. We had a little pullback, went up. Remember I said before, when the market goes up a lot, we end up getting that little pullback, and then I move to the upside. Why did this here? This point through here was what? That was a false breakout, wasn't it? Why was this a false breakout? Now, again, I'm looking at the weekly chart here. A false breakout overall. Why? Look at this enormous move to the upside. What needed to happen after that enormous move to the upside for, what's that, probably 1.5 years? We now need what? We now need a period of, a good amount of time, probably a good spot. If that's 1.5 years, we probably need at least half that of what? Going sideways or having a bit of a pullback. And look what ended up happening. All we did was what? We come down through to here, and we just went down, and then now we're getting ready to get going again. And you see, like, this is where, like, I love the charts, right? Because the charts are like, you see, the charts were always saying that the reason why we're going down right now, and we can go into like, oh, well, the market's gone down because of this. My alarm's gone off. We could say, like, there's a lot of things, right? So, like, you can say that, oh, well, the market's gone down because of, and we can create a story around inflation, Fed, this and this and this and this and this, right? But if we just look at this from the concept of really energy in the markets, we spent 1.5 years going up. So what do we need to do? We need to spend at least a good 6 months or more, what? Either going sideways to get to refuel, to build some more energy, to get going again. Because if the market's going up for quite some time, we're using a lot of energy to go up. And after a period of time, just like with my boxing, right? So I do boxing, or I do wakeboarding, right? So I've been learning wakeboarding lately. After a good, maybe even on wakeboarding, right? So I'm wakeboarding, I go to the cable park, right? Wakeboarding. After an hour or two of wakeboarding, guess what? I'm exhausted. I'm like, oh, right? Especially this guy that can't stand up sometimes, and in some of those corners, it's just like me in the water, right? Johnny Zero, water at 1, if you know what I mean. Especially like a couple of days ago, I went, and it was towards the end of my session, that I was actually going to do for that hour or so, and I got around one of those corners of a few guys that have been to the wake park, the cable park. And it was one of these corners that I went really, really, really wide, and I held on, and I didn't have my hand placed in the right way, and the thing just yoinked me out with my actual wakeboard, and I went smack straight in the water, and my ear got smacked in there, and I hurt my ear just a little bit, and that was it for me, right? I was done and dusted, right? And the purpose of me saying that is like, This is how, if you think about the markets as an energy field, this is how markets work also overall, right? And so as you can see, whenever we get a really, really, really big bull market, and this is where, guys, you go through a really big bull market and we need these correction, these phases. Now look what ended up happening through here. All this was what? If I just delete everything off the screen here for a minute, all this was what? This was just retracing down 50%. Look at that there. It was actually just 50%. And one thing I've always found is that that a market that retraces 50% or less and then continues up, that's actually a very big bull market. So if we look at this from an overall big picture perspective, we can understand what? We can understand that this is what's going on right now, right? This is what's going on. Now, when it comes down to when it comes down to these overall markets, right, and what's actually going on here, this is the only thing we can use to trade, right? We can't trade based on what we think is going to happen. We only can trade based on this because the market's given us some science here. So I have 50% retracement, and then the market then slowly started to what? Came down. It had its, what is this here? Really, what is this? This here is what? The market saying, oh, I just need some time to rest, right? My goodness, I'm exhausted. I've gone up for a year and a half. Is that a year and a half? How long is that? Almost 2 years, actually. All right, I've gone up for almost 2 years of just been like going up and going up and going up. Guess what? I'm tired. And this is now, look, this is from a weekly chart perspective, and then when you start to go to the monthly charts. Now, I don't trade from the monthly charts or the weekly charts, but to understand the concept of, if you just look at these markets here, you understand the rhythm of the cycles. You understand what's going on, right? And the charts are giving us some guidance, right? The charts are always saying that, if you look at this here, the charts are always saying that, yeah, we are getting a bit of a drop through here, but this may not be the big crash we're looking out for. And then we start to make higher lows, higher lows, higher lows all the way up from here, right? And now we're going through it. now, guess what's happening? Now we're pushing up to new highs. But all this was what? The concept of, we just used a lot of energy through here, and then now we're actually having now we're just having a period of going through there, right? And you just see this concept all the time. Remember I said before, like, you can see this market does this a lot actually and this is actually identification of false breakouts, guys. The market actually does this a lot, where the market will go up a lot, just like the Italian market, right? It'll go up a lot, it'll have a little bit of a pullback, it'll go again, break up to new highs, and then it'll fail. It always does this, or not always, but it does this really at the end of really big bull markets. And if I show you this is the Italian market, look at the Italian market, right? This is the Italian market here. I think it's the Italian market anyway. One of my coaching clients mentioned this. But look at this here. Up, 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 up. We had a little pullback, and then it pushed up, and then it failed. So if you were long here and the market started doing this, you'd be like, I need to be out right now because it's failing. It's a false breakout. And therefore, even if you did get into that as a breakout and you wanted to ride it and you did do that, that's where, like, having the ability to cut your losses short, it's like, okay, it's definitely not a true breakout. So that's what I'm seeing there from the really big picture, guys, from the actual stock market here. And that's where, like, this is the big picture analysis here of what we're seeing. And so if we go down to the shorter term analysis, let's actually bring this here. We can just see on the shorter term analysis using the daily charts now, and just zooming right in. Look at this here. We're now what? We're now definitely in a very, very, very big, strong overall big bull market, right? Like, just look how strong this is. Firstly, this is the major resistance level through here. All right, look at this here. So we had what? We had resistance all through here, right? And then we had this major level of support through here, didn't we? So you can see that's what's happening through there. That's that last 3 months. And then if I drew a trend line from there to there, look how strong that is from there to there, right? I'd have to say that that'll be the line through there. If I extend that out, all right, that'll have to be the line that I'm using. But look how bullish this is, right? So if you remember back here on this day right here, actually no, it was one of these days. I think it was this day right here. This day right here, I was saying it's do or die for the markets. What is this going to be? Is it going to be what? One of those false breakouts? Or is it going to be just going to be a continuation of the markets or continuation of the trend? And so I did a video saying do or die. If you've been watching my stuff for the last few weeks, you would have seen this one, right? I said do or die in the markets. Because I didn't know. No one knew. But when the market gives me the sign of what it wants to do, then I just like, I need to go with the market. And what was that? As soon as, because if this was going to be a false breakout pattern, what tends to happen with false breakouts, right? They actually go sideways, and then they actually go down, and then we see this bit of, and then we see at least a bit of a short-term drop in the markets for a bit of period of time, coming back down to here if it's going to be a false breakout. Now, if it's not going to be a false breakout, right? This is not going to be something, but it's just going to be a big up, down, high, low, and away we go again. The market will give us some signs. What is that? It'll actually hold, and then we'll start to get what? We'll start to get some really big, significant bars, and then be like through here, right? Look at that through there. What is this here? What is this here? This day here was what? Saying we just came down through here. We now created a higher low, and now we hold, and now we're pushing back up. The market, and this is the day that I put a video out on YouTube to say, okay, traders, it's now getting ready to have another move to the upside from here. And then as you can see, that ever since we've actually gone up from here. And now what's happening right now as we speak, right? So not what I think, right? Not what I think is like, because if I think something, the bottom line is like, I don't know, right? But what I do know is that whatever the market is telling me, and when I say that, guys, I'm just reading the overall trend analysis. And again, guys, in that free trading course, that first link in the description there, guys, I go through the different phases, right? And this here is about looking at the trend analysis and the different phases we're in right now. And this right now, we're just in a very big, strong bull market, right? So if we're in a very big, strong bull market and this is going to keep going up, the market will give us signs. But if it's going to start to fail, the market will also give us signs. Right now, we're in a very big bull market, and to me, it's just about, you know, like a big bull, right? Or a big horse. You can hold onto that horse and let it take you, or you can fight it. I don't want to fight that bull, right? I can either hop onto the bull and go with it, right? And flow with the bull. If I try to go against that bull, guess what? you're probably going to lose, right? Don't ever fight a big bull market, right? Just go with it, right? And you start to see these signs of what actually happens through here. And the big thing here, guys, is as you can see is that firstly, that the way that I see this here, so if I bring up even the last 6 months, look what happened. We had this very big move up, and then we had this nice little correction here for a few months. And then now, guess what we're doing? We just continue this very big, strong bull market. So this is a very, 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 very strong market for me. If I bring on my moving averages now, the big thing I'm seeing is the I used 2 moving averages here, right? So right now we're above my 9 moving average. And what the 9 moving average tells me is that we're now in this next leg up, right? We're now in this next leg up. And if it's going to start to slow down, right, we tend to get some breaking of the moving averages to the downside, right? So what's probably likely to happen is it may even give us another day like this here, wait for the moving average to catch up, and then we're probably going to go for another move again. That's the only reason why it's going sideways right now. Why? Because even on a short-term level basis, right, we had a move up, and then now we just got too far away from the 9 moving average, which tells us it's actually pretty tight. And now we're getting ready for another move to the upside from there. So that's on the S&P 500. But as you can see, the big thing for me is what's going on right now. So that's the S&P 500. Let's go to the Nasdaq 100. And the Nasdaq 100 is super strong. Like, we're talking super strong. I wish I traded this instead of the S&P. Anyway, I guess I just told you what I did. Anyway, so I have a 20,000 target on the Nasdaq 100. Even on this one through here, I have a 20,000 target, which is a lot higher from there. But yeah, you can see this is the composite, and this is obviously the Nasdaq one. But look at the Nasdaq 100, right? Nasdaq 100 is just super strong from here. And once again, what do we see from here, right? We see that we are now creating this sort of I have to say, yeah, so something like that'll be the line I'd have to use. And now we're creating that, and look what happened here, right? Came down, created that level through there, which is what? A big, strong higher low. And the higher low here was what? At a major level of support. This is like, if we're, no matter what I think, oh, market crash or whatever, like, no matter what I think is going to happen, right? The big thing here is what? The big thing is that we're actually holding, we're really holding this level here, creating a higher low, and then now we're pushing to the upside. So if I think this market's going to crash, there's no sign of this market going to crash, right? We're not overextended, whether we're going to get a really big pullback like the Italian market, right? We're just in what? We just nicely went, we've been going sideways for all this time. So we really went sideways for about 1 or 2 months, and then now we broke out, and now we continue back up. But again, I did trade the S&P 500 on the breakout. I wish I did. I wish I took the Nasdaq now, because this thing is just, man, this thing's strong, right? Again, and the Nasdaq, the S&P is not that far behind as well too. So again, very, very, very strong bull market right now, guys. And I believe we've probably got, I'm just looking at my other markets from here. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's just, I wouldn't want to be fighting this market right now, guys. Trying to short this market right now is very, very, very risky. And that's where, for me, guys, for me personally, my personal trading system, and you'll be able to see that in the course below, is I always, when the market goes up, I always wait for the market to have that pullback, and then I'm trying to get in here for the next move up from there. Now looking at the Dow Jones, different story, right? We've just been now range bound. Now this is a short-term analysis here, right? Range bound, last short-term analysis. The big picture of what I'm seeing here, this is the daily charts here the last couple of months. Last 6 months, we're seeing this through here, just really range bound. This is really exciting, okay? If we step back from the forest, from the trees, from this actual Dow Jones chart, this is what a market, guys, I truly believe over the next 6 months could present an opportunity that can do really, really, really well out of the markets here. And what I'm talking about here is this market through here, right? Let's just do this level through here, right? So this is this overall market from here. And the reason I'm doing this is, look at this here. Remember I said before about energy, okay? As this from the 2020 vid bottom to the vid top, firstly, what did it do? Right? It went up, 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 up. It had a little pullback, up, 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 up. Then it had the little pullback up, false breakout, and then we had what? A drop to the downside, didn't we? But what is now? Remember that everything's about energy, right? So if the market's going up a lot, it's using a lot of energy. If it's using a lot of energy, now it needs time to build energy. And when it does, the building energy is either that drop or some sideways movement. Now, when we do go sideways, we're building energy. Now, on the back of what I just said there, look at all that there. This is, what is this? How many years is that? Is this going sideways? At least 2 years, right? At least 2 years, 2.5 years of doing nothing in the markets. What does that mean? It's building energy, right? Building energy in an overall very strong bull market. Even though we've got this correction, very, very, very strong bull market, right? So this is building a lot of energy. And now, guess what? Now we just actually broke out to the upside. If you have a look at this here, that's that level there. That's that level there. You can see here that really it did nothing through here. And now what is this? Now what's happening? Right? We're just what? We're just breaking out now of this level, and now we're starting to create some really significant long-term trend lines coming through there, as you can see. And now look at this one up through here. So this is where, like I said, like with the Dow Jones, after all this time, and now we're just breaking out, I really see the Dow Jones having another very big leg up soon when it's ready. Okay, now this is where, guys, I don't know when it's going to be ready. But what am I going to be looking out for potentially to see when it is going to be ready? If we are going to start to see this very big move up towards that level there. I'm going to go back to my charts, right? I'm going to go back to, say, the 1 year worth of data, squeeze it up a little bit more, right, as you can see. And then I'm going to squeeze this up. And one thing I'm going to be seeing is what actually happens here. Because I do know is what? I do know we're in this sideways range here, right? We're in a very big bull market here. We all know that, as we just went through a minute ago. If I take everything off the screen here now again, and I just draw some analysis of what's going on right now. What's going on right now? That's that level through there. This is another level all through here, right? So what I'll be waiting for is what? I'll be waiting for this thing, because look at this here, up, 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 little pullback, up. There's that pattern again, right, guys? If you guys have watched this, video all the way through now, you'll be able to see Again, this is the reason why I love the way that I trade, because I teach not only just trading setups, but I teach operating of markets, how they work, because then you start to identify these patterns, right? Which is the same for the Italian market and same for other markets, right? You get these you get very big moves, and then you get these false breakout patterns. Now we're going sideways. Guess what? It's building a lot of energy. So if we get something like that and we start to get a breakout through there over the next, maybe 3 months or so, and we really start to move up and we start to get back above 40, guess what's likely to come? What's likely to come on the other side of that is a very big breakout and a very, very, very big move. So being patient and watching, this is when we there's just so many opportunities around this place, and one of them is the Dow Jones, I truly believe. And then we see this from a big picture perspective of what's going on through here. And once again, we can see that this is that long-term trend line coming up through there to there. And then now we can actually see, again, I do see this thing holding through here now, because once again, traders, look at this through. Look at all this through here. All this sideways movement, really not going anywhere, has done what? Has created now this breakout. Now, when we do get the breakout, what tends to happen, right? Look at this back here. Look at all this back here. All that sideways movement. What was that there? 1, 2, 3 years. Now, again, we're looking at the weekly chart. When we did go sideways, when we started the breakout, look at that big move ensue. Now we've just started the breakout, right? I believe maybe all this sort of sideways period here, maybe for another couple of months. Again, this is a weekly chart, so you might get another couple of months, maybe more. And then when it does start to move, there could be some really, really, really big opportunities from there, guys. Alrighty, traders. So let's actually, what I want to do right now, so that's the big look at the markets from there. Let's actually go look at the Russell here. And I really want to share with you this is actually, I'm going deep on today, guys, right? So there's a lot of stuff I've gone through, and what you can see, guys, is that all these markets are doing something different, right? We're doing something really, really, really different from here, and you can see the Dow Jones is doing something different to the S&P, to the Nasdaq, and even the Russell's creating a different pattern. And this is where it's important not to have a bias around these markets. And only go on what that individual market is doing, right? So whenever I do my analysis, I say that the S&P 500 is in a very big bull market right now, a very big, strong upward trend. The Dow Jones is just sideways, and it's probably going to go sideways for a little bit longer. But when we do break out, it's probably going to go for another very big move up. The Russell is, and then we go to the markets, right? So the really big thing about the Russell is, firstly, on the back of, remember I said before, is the energy in these markets. So remember I said before about false breakout patterns. Look, here we go again, guys. Remember I said before, the theme of today is actually, you know what, guys? If you've watched this video so far, put in Russell false breakout. Put in the chat box below Russell if you've watched this video all the way through to this point here. If you have, thumbs up to you, right? Because this is more like a masterclass around mindset, markets, systems, and just a whole big masterclass, right? So, because I'm just teaching you so much in this video here. So, welcome, happy Monday to everyone. It's a Monday for me anyway. But look at this here. Remember I said before, when the market goes up a lot, we tend up getting a little pullback, and then we go for a move, and that's probably going to be a false breakout. Look at all that move up. Then we had a pullback, false breakout. By the way, I did trade this one on the daily charts, and I got out really fast because then guess what? We had this move here. So as you can see, right, look at all that up move, and then we just had this sort of sideways move before we had the breakout. So I did actually trade that one through there on the daily charts, this breakout here. I remember this very, very clearly. And then it started the reverse, and then we got what? A pullback. Now, where did it pull back to? Let's have a look here. From low to high, where did it pull back to? Oh my goodness. Look where it pulled back to. What? That good old what? Smack dead that in that level there, which is what? 50% retracement. And now, so this overall is in a very big, strong bull market, right? Overall, the big picture. The short-term analysis, weekly charts, daily charts, guess what? We're now just having the correction, just like the other markets did, right? So such as the Dow Jones, such as the S&P 500, they all did what? They all did the same thing. Again, if you go look at the S&P 500, overall, what ended up happening? Low to high, We just had this pullback, and now we'll be making these very big moves to the upside. So you can see that even though on a short-term level we were going down, all this was just an overall correction for a year because it went up for 2 years, and then it just needed some time to rest before we continued up. Now let's go look at the Russell. The Russell's doing what? The Russell, 50% retracement, smack dead on that level through there, right? So that's where it is. That's where it was. But where is it right now? Where is it right now is this. Is that we had this level through here, right? We had this level all through here. And then we did have this level all through here. Now here's where it gets really, really, really awesome on the Russell. And this is where something really big could be coming up soon on the Russell here. We have to wait and see what actually happens here on the Russell. But something, something big could be coming soon. And again, we need to really watch out for this, because if we start to get these highs up here, guys, right? These highs up here, we had this sideways movement from here, right? We had all this sideways and we broke up, and now we're just doing this sort of sideways pattern again here. So the big thing for me is, because we've just gone through here, this could be the start of a very big, strong bull market. But once we actually break, if we do start to break out, remember I said before about the S&P 500 that I needed to wait. Let me go back to this chart here for a minute. Remember I said before that this was the do or die pattern. Okay, so this do or die pattern was what? It was a break up. Is it going to do, or is it going to die? We never know, right? We never really know. We have to wait for it. And therefore this day here, it says it's going to do, right? Not going to die. Same for the Russell right now. Russell right now, I'm seeing this from a big picture perspective, right? Let me zoom right out. And we're at this level here. Are we going to do, or are we going to die? Now, what would that look like? What would do mean? Do mean is that if we hold here and we do start to see some really big, strong movement coming out of the Russell here, that's going to really create a nice movement to the upside. And if we do break out this level, it's going to really, really do, right? I believe this market is really, 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 really going to do some really, really, really big things here. So that's what I'm seeing through there on the Russell from here. And what I mean by do is simply means this. If we can hold here, if we do hold here, guys, and we start to really rally out from here, now we really need to hold the next couple of days, guys. We really need to hold here and start to really rally out. If we do, guys, this is going to be a really, really big move. I believe out of all the indices, if we do and not do die, and what I mean by that, remember I said before about the S&P, right? The S&P is up. It had a pullback through here. Is it going to die, mean we continue down, or is it going to do? If we do this, if we do, then guess what? It's going to really do. And what I mean by do. Put in do in the comment section below. What I mean by really do. Really do is what? It really do mean that it's going to really, 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 the Russell is got, I see a 300 Russell coming, especially off the back here. Expect a big move out of the Russell. So I've been watching the Russell now for quite some time right now, guys, and I'm waiting for that, because there's these opportunities that come, guys, right? There's these opportunities that come past. And this is one thing with my coaching program that I'm with every single day, by the way, guys. And again, if you want a more of a 6-month intensive coaching program where you're with me for about an hour and a half every day, where we're trading and I'm coaching you and so on and so forth, 6-month intensive, and you really want that, that's second link in the description there. You can apply for it. I've got 2 spots left for that, guys. So you can see here, right? If the market does do that, just like the S&P, right? And we do something like this here, the all-time high is where? Up here. That's all-time high. So look at this here. If we do get something like that, where's it likely to go to? Oh, wrong way. Right? Let's just say we get something like that. Nice big green candle from there. Right? If we did get something like that, like just one big update, really, really, really strong update like that out of the Russell, where's it likely to go to? Where's all-time highs? Where is it? It's up there. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. And if we did get some of that, or we may even get something like this, right? Where the market goes up from here. The perfect scenario would be something like this, guys, for me. This would be the if we got something like that with a really big increase in volume, that would just bring home so much bacon. And I really do mean that, right? If we got something like that, guys, oh, here we go. And so there's these markets out there, right, guys? Like, as you can see, like I'm in the S&P 500 right now, by the way. I got into it when I said, here we go, right? Here's the breakout. So I'm up nicely. I'm in an option trade right now on the SPY, right? Dow Jones, I'm waiting for a good trade on that there. The Russell, guess what? I'm waiting for if we get the pattern. If we get the pattern and it does doo-doo, guess what? It's got to bring home lots of doo-doos, right? lots of bacon for me, right? And so just be patient, guys, right? Just be patient, but spend time analyzing the market to see where we're at. Now, guys, I'm going deep on you guys, teaching you about the mindset, going deep, the strategies, the techniques. Like, I'm really going deep on you for like a bit of a masterclass for you guys today. But I'm trying to share with you a lot of things that goes into your trading. But all this analysis I do, I'm applying this to individual stocks, because individual stocks are what? They're either making 52-week lows, 52-week highs, big bull markets. They might be in a sideways consolidation for a few months. If so, we're probably going to get a good breakout. If so, guess who's watching it? Me. You know, some markets are really breaking in a big, strong downward trend, right? Nike's one of those things. It's like, there's a lot of markets out there, guys. So for me, I don't have a bullish or bearish view on the markets. I just have it is as view. The reason why is because there's many stocks that are on the downside and there's many stocks on the upside from here. So there's analysis from there, guys. Let's go look at the actual mining sector as well too. So the mining sector, what's happening with the mining sector? The mining sector for me, guys, is just the same sort of thing, right? The really big thing about the mining sector was this, or is this, should I say, not was, but is we had a very big strong move up, and now we've actually hit this resistance level here. The big picture of the mining sector is this, is after spending almost 4 years in this triangle pattern from here, almost spending 4 years in the triangle pattern, the breakout is going to be huge, right? And as you can see, we're seeing what's happening through here. So what's happening now, again, guys, this is where, step back, I'm looking for opportunities to make money today, right? Day trader, don't be a day trader, right? What is this? We understand if we want to make big profits in the markets, big profits come from what? Big trends, right? Big moves. Big moves take time, not one day, right? Big profits, what? Jump on trend for 1 or 2 months, right? And that's where, guys, for you guys that are day traders, like you're trading throughout the day, there are big trends happening on the 5-minute charts and stuff like that. You just got to really understand that. Now, by the way, guys, if you are trading, say, the 1-minute charts, 2-minute charts, 5-minute charts, the way that I personally teach is the most powerful form out there. Now, this is not an active trading system, but when the setup does appear, guys, when I call my A quality setup, when you start to combine, you know, the higher time frame, like a 15-minute chart, and you start to combine 5 and 1-minute charts and 2-minute charts, oh, you cannot beat it. You cannot beat this setup. And that's where, like, when it does start to come around, even my private clients know, like, I show this setup all the time, trading that setup, it's just like, oh, it is a home run. It's just amazing. But looking at the mining sector, again, see what I'm doing here, guys? Like, I'm watching all markets from here. All markets individually are what? And this is where I'm neutral across all markets. Okay, S&P, we're in a very big, strong bull leg right now. It's going up. Don't fight it. Dow, it's just going sideways right now. Okay, well, I'm probably not going to get there's nothing going on here, right? Russell, oh, this week could be, you know. Now, mining sector, we're probably going to get a continuation of what? All we're doing right now is maybe a continuation of a bit of a pullback to around the 50% level, right? And then if we do start to get something like that, oh, are you guys seeing this? Are you guys getting this? Now, by the way, guys, I left this here for the last of this video because this here is probably one of the greatest opportunities that could last. Like, we're talking bull market, not a couple of months, but a couple of years, right? this mining sector breakout after all this time doing nothing, like really like 4 years of doing nothing, like this, for you guys that stayed at the end, this is your gold nugget here, right? It really, really, really is. And the same for the SIL as well too. SIL, same sort of thing, right? What are we doing here? Firstly, big long-term trend line, up, down. We start to get something like that. We start to get a breakout from here. Now this is a weekly chart, by the way, guys, but you see this. Those who are watching and prouding and being patient and analyzing, right? And again, this is what I do with my coaching program all the time, guys, is I'm always letting people know about not only individual stocks that I'm trading, and if you'd like to know what I'm actually trading and what I'm doing, again, that second link in the description there, guys, you can apply for my coaching program and I can help you out. Again, if you really, really want this next 6 months to be amazing for you guys and you want the biggest growth, that's why I have a 6 month intensive. Well, I call it 6 month intensive because you're with me every day for an hour and a half throughout the rest of the 6 months. So 6 month intensive. And so we can see that through there on the SIL as well too. Same sort of thing, right? Big breakout coming from there. If we go look at the silver market, and the silver market is just, again, very sideways movement, and now we're just getting what? Now we're just getting a drop down to this level through here. So I wouldn't be too surprised, guys, if we're going to start to see the silver market hold up a bit more now, and we just had this move up, pull back, move up, pull back. I wouldn't be too surprised to see this thing start to really break out. But the big level for me, guys, would be somewhere through there somewhere, right? So it'll be through there somewhere. So up, high, low, and then a higher low. So that's actually what we're seeing through there, guys, as you can see. So very, very, very strong bull market. This is just a pullback. If we do get a breakout from here, then I do see the next major level of resistance is up through there on the silver market. So if we do get a breakout, the next short-term level of resistance is up there around the 30, 35 level, which I do believe is probably going to break that if we do get up through there. And the thing for gold, guys, gold to me is really, really, really nice in a result of, let's look at this weekly chart here. Why is gold doing what it's doing right now? Look at this here, guys, right? Gold is doing, look at this here, we had a very strong move up, right? We used all this energy. Now we're what? We're now just building energy, aren't we? We're building energy, right? When we go up, when we go up for a while and we go sideways, we're building energy and we're getting ready for what? So as long as gold continues going sideways, now this is the weekly chart here. Let's go to the daily charts, all right? As long as gold continues to go sideways, and we see this level all through here, we continue sideways. Now it may actually have a false breakout here, right? We may get a flush down through here, and then a move back up. Actually, that's actually what I'd prefer, because when you do get this thing here, you tend to get this last push down before the slingshot, potential gold slingshot pattern, right? Now look at this here. That was the low through there, right? Look what happened. We broke down, didn't we, first? And then there's like a bit of a slingshot pattern, right? It pulls back and slingshot. If we did get that and we got the pullback through there, we're probably going to slingshot, and then I see a 3,000 gold coming. So we're potentially getting a bit of a slingshot pattern in the gold market from there. Let's go now. Last but least, guys, I just want to finish off with you guys that are interested in the good old Bitcoin market. Bitcoin market right now, what's been happening? Short-term analysis, guys. We just had a drop to the downside. This is still setting up, guys, for something really amazing, right? We're just getting this pullback here. Now, again, we need to step back. Does the market do or does the market die? If the market dies, where we get a bit of a breakout to the downside, that could mean, okay, we're now probably getting ready for a drop to the downside, right? We don't know yet. We need to wait for, let the market tell us, and let the market, if we're gonna, where's the bull gonna take us, right? Right? Let the bull know where, let the bull, go where it's gonna go, and just go with the market, go with the bull, right? You try to fight that bull, right? So right now we don't know. Is the bull gonna do or die? If it does hold here, we get a breakout to the upside, then this is probably likely to see, let me just take this off the screen here. this moving average because we don't need the moving average. It's just look at all this here. Now, what is this here? Sideways. What is sideways? Sideways what? Is energy building. Look at all that energy we've been building for what? For another leg to come. And it's really, 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 really simple, right? So if we do hold here, right? And we do hold here and we start to move up, guess what? Potential what? Look at this here. From there to there, if we do get that, which what is a short-term false breakdown to the downside, this could be what? Same sort of thing, right? This is one of the patterns I see in very big bull markets that it does this. It'll have short-term little false breakdown, and then it will start to create a bit of a slingshot pattern from there. So there we go, traders. There's an update for you guys. Have an amazing day. It's going to be such an amazing week from here. The bottom line for you guys is try to have a neutral approach across this here. But as you can see, I'm applying the same analysis, the same handful of analysis across all markets. And that's where, for me, going deep into these techniques that I use, you start to become a much, much better trader is just by understanding these markets a lot more, by the techniques I use, and then also identifying good trading opportunities.